President Biden's vaccine action plan could affect thousands of workers here in San Diego. The issues a local economist says the plan addresses.
20 years ago, a Del Mar man's son was killed in the 9/11 attacks when his plane was flown into the Pentagon.
It's reflection time, but it is celebratory. I mean, we celebrate Chad's life every day.
The reflection he's planning tomorrow in Washington, D.C.
Plus, days ahead of the special recall election, two Republicans hoping to replace Governor Gavin Newsom stop through San Diego. The messages they hope will send San Diegans to the polls in their favor.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
Two major employment organizations in San Diego are on board with President Biden's COVID vaccine mandate for some businesses. And this comes a day after he announced his six-pillar plan aimed at beating the pandemic. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. That mandate requires workers at businesses with 100 or more employees to get vaccinated or get tested weekly for COVID. Our ABC 10 News reporter Nia Watson explains the impact it could have on businesses and jobs in San Diego.
This mandate means that a lot more jobs are going to be a lot higher quality than they were before.
Backing President Biden's vaccine action plan is senior economist with the San Diego Workforce Partnership, 10Nnews. He says it addresses two major issues when it comes to businesses: safety and speeding up economic recovery.
We're talking about an improvement in job quality for millions of workers, tens of millions of workers, because safety is crucial to job quality.
The mandate calls for businesses with 100 or more employees to require their workers get vaccinated or undergo weekly COVID-19 testing. The San Diego Chamber of Commerce, which helps around 2,500 businesses, also supports the plan. CEO and President Jerry Sanders says they've encouraged people to get vaccinated since doses became available.
Our businesses want to stay open. We don't want to see them close again, so I think that businesses will make those decisions, and I hope that people respect the decisions they make.
The only possible challenge Sanders sees with the mandate is funding. He says he hopes the federal government can provide financial aid to help businesses implement the changes.
A lot of small business and all business has had to fund almost all these things. And it's pretty difficult when they've had to be closed down several times. So we're hoping there's a funding source coming to allow for the testing.
But not everyone is fond of Biden's latest plan. San Diego County Supervisor Jim Desmond sent ABC 10 News the following statement saying in part, quote, "I'm against workplaces mandating vaccines for their employees, as you're forcing people to choose between getting inoculated or providing for their family. I'm glad to see most entities, like the County of San Diego, allowing the option to be COVID tested weekly." Nia Watson, ABC 10 News.
Hundreds of San Diego police officers say they would rather quit their jobs than be required to get vaccinated. That's according to a recent survey given to members of the San Diego Police Officers Association. The president of the union said about 733 members responded to the survey. He added that when officers were asked if they would consider leaving the department if vaccines were mandated by the city, nearly 500 said yes.
I was asked recently if, those numbers might be a little skewed. Obviously, any survey can be, but even if it's a quarter of that number, you're talking 75 or 80 officers. That's a lot, and they could very easily go to other places.
He says the union is still negotiating with the city and hopes that a COVID testing option will be given to anyone who doesn't want the vaccine. In a statement to ABC 10 News, Mayor Todd Gloria's office said polls don't dictate our policies. We want to protect our public safety officers and the public. For the first time in a week, there were more than 1,000 new COVID cases reported in San Diego County today. Cases had been trending down for 6 days. And sadly, we also saw a high number of deaths today. 12 more San Diegans have lost their lives to the virus. Now to our weather as we take a live look outside. Doesn't get any prettier than that on a Friday. Dangerous heat, though, continues this weekend. Meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking a flash flood warning in East County. Angelica.
Hi, Kim. Yes, the heat is going to continue this weekend. Heat advisories will remain in effect until Sunday night. And we've seen a couple of thunderstorms today, most everything far east. It did come through very heavily, producing gusty winds between 47 to 57 miles per hour in Borrego Springs. That's where they had most of the reports due to thunderstorms this afternoon. Again, everything is starting to push out. It is looking much drier out there, and the threat for flooding has officially ended. Offshore, you see a little bit of green. That's just the scattering that the radar is picking up, but conditions are going to be improving as far as thunderstorms go. It'll dry out. That could be a concern as temperatures will stay above average. I'll show you what to expect and when temperatures will start to cool back down.
Angelica, thank you. It was 20 years ago tomorrow that the 9/11 attack on the Pentagon took the lives of 189 people. Our ABC 10 News reporter Michael Chen spoke with a Del Mar man planning on being at the Pentagon tomorrow to honor the life of his son, one of the passengers on American Airlines Flight 77.
It's reflection time, but it is celebratory. I mean, we celebrate Chad's life every day.
Chad Keller was just 29 years old when he died. His flight from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles hijacked by terrorists and crashed into the Pentagon.
It sticks in your memory forever, that exact moment.
His father, Dick, and mom, Kathy, were in their Del Mar home as the tragic day began unfolding. They drove up to Manhattan Beach to be with Chad's wife of 10 months. Around noon,
Came in a black car with black suits.
Executives from Boeing informed them Chad was on that flight. Chad was a propulsion specialist working on satellite launches.
Sad, grief-stricken, to be taken so suddenly and not being able to have a conversation or say goodbye. I think that was the worst part.
Keller calls his son a bit of a Renaissance man who loved to travel, cook, and do anything outdoors. In the years since his death,
We've learned that life is fragile and you have to go on. Chad would have wanted us to go on with our lives.
the Kellers say they've tried to use their grief to do good, volunteering to help veterans, supporting the 9/11 memorial projects at the Pentagon and in New York. But their grief never goes away.
We've not forgotten it. We have a hole in our heart and our life forever. And we grieve differently. So there's periods of time where you wake up and just think about what life could have been to have him around.
20 years later, the recent suicide bombings in Kabul show the war on terror has not ended.
It is an uphill battle, and that's what's sad and disappointing and hurtful, that we can't do better.
The 20th anniversary of the attacks comes amid a push by 9/11 families to declassify evidence that may show a link between Saudi Arabian leaders and the attacks. Last week, President Biden ordered a review and possible release of classified documents.
Transparency of this information would be beneficial. It might help us understand what actually went on.
As the search for answers continues, so does the Kellers' mission to honor their son's legacy. On 9/11, they will be at the Pentagon for a special ceremony for the victims' family members.
Let's not forget. These are things that we should remember.
Michael Chen, ABC 10 News.
Keller says he is also proud of a volleyball tournament started by Chad's friends, which has provided more than 40 scholarships to college-bound students. ABC 10 News, or ABC News that is, will air a live special tomorrow on the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. America Remembers from 5 to 10 tomorrow morning right here on ABC 10.
On the eve of the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, ABC will tell the harrowing stories of survival and escape. Tonight, David Muir will spend time with families who lost loved ones, the firefighters who survived the North Tower collapse, one of the last women to make it out alive. And earlier today, I spoke to David Muir about what this anniversary means and how we can all honor those who were lost.
I know we all remember where we were. We all remember the pain in watching it unfold. But until you hear these stories of these lives forever changed, the survivors, the first responders, the heroes of that day, it's hard to pay the proper respect and tribute 20 years later until you hear their stories. I'll give you one. Florence Jones, of the last 25 people out of the South Tower, she was number 18. She worked on the 77th and 78th floors, her office. She had just gone up to 78. She told everyone, we have to get out, the other tower's been hit. She went back down to 77, and moments later, the second plane hit the 78th floor, one floor above her. All of her colleagues that she'd just been talking to gone. And 20 years later, she got a phone call from a young man named Jake. He said, what can you tell me about my mom? And his mom, Jill, was up on the 78th floor, Florence's dear friend. And can you imagine 20 years later getting a phone call out of the blue from a boy who never knew his mom, who said, "What can you tell me?" And tonight, these are the kinds of stories that I think will move our fellow Americans, not only to pay tribute, but to recognize that, you know, we're all in this together, and there's something we can all do to pay tribute. And part of that is just by listening tonight.
David describes how, despite seeing resilience, strength, and hope, there is also a burden that many survivors carry, the burden of being spared when so many others were not. And you can watch the 2-hour special with David Muir, 9/11, 20 years later, tonight at 9 o'clock, followed by ABC News at 11.
The 9/11 attacks inspired many men and women to pursue careers in public safety. Today, Southwestern College, which has been training firefighters, police officers, and paramedics for 30 years, opened a brand new training center. The college says it has a 100% rate of job placement for students who complete all of their requirements.
I know that all of our hearts are in the right places. For those who are in the paramedic program, I know that we would all be helping out if something like that were to happen.
That new public safety training center cost $29 million to build.